When my mother tried to move my brother into my house, I let her, then disappeared. My mom gave me an ultimatum: pay my golden child brother's rent or face the consequences. I laughed, said no, and thought that was the end of it. A week later, the consequences arrived on my doorstep. My brother Jake, his girlfriend Megan, and my parents stood there with boxes, declaring, "We're moving in with you." I'm Ruby, 31, and I've been the responsible one my entire life. I worked through college, built my career, and saved diligently toward buying my own place. Meanwhile, Jake, at 28, has never held a job longer than 6 months. I even paid part of his college tuition, which he wasted by dropping out. 2 years ago, he got evicted and temporarily moved in with me. Within a month, my apartment was unrecognizable. Loud parties, missing food, strangers sleeping on my couch. The last straw was walking in on Jake using that couch for something else entirely with some random girl. I told him he had a week to move out. My parents called me heartless. My mother repeated her favorite mantra: family helps family. I pointed out that family shouldn't mean me cleaning up after Jake forever. But in their eyes, Jake was the delicate one. Just going through a phase. A 26-year-old phase, apparently. Last month, Mom invited me to dinner. I should have known better. Jake was there, grinning beside a woman I'd never met. Megan, his new fiancée. They'd been together for 3 weeks. She was unemployed, but holding out for something worthy of her talents. I kept my polite face on until Mom and Dad dropped the real reason for the dinner. They wanted me to pay Jake and Megan's rent every month. They'd cover the deposit, they said, but I had more disposable income, and it's just until they get settled. I laughed. Absolutely not. Silence. Then my father's voice, low, angry. "So, you won't help your own brother?" Jake didn't even look up. Neither did Megan. They just let our parents fight for them. "If you walk out that door without agreeing," Mom warned, "there will be consequences." I walked out. What I didn't tell them was that I'd just received a massive year-end bonus. Combined with my savings, it was enough for a down payment on a condo. I ignored the guilt trip texts that followed and finalized the purchase quietly. I wanted a home of my own, no drama attached. That peace lasted 1 week. Saturday morning, the doorbell rang. I opened the door, and there they were, my parents, Jake and Megan, smiling like they owned the place. Mom brushed past me. "This is the living room," she said, waving at Megan like a realtor. "Ruby's bedroom is the master. That will be yours and Jake's. Ruby can take the pull-out couch." Megan wrinkled her nose. "It's smaller than I expected, but I guess it'll do." I stood there, stunned, until I realized what this was. The consequences. "Fine," I said evenly, "but I'll need 2 weeks to arrange things with my landlord." The shock on their faces was delicious. The second they left, I called my realtor. "Let's close the condo this week." By Friday, I was signing ownership papers. That weekend, I quietly moved my belongings into my new home, leaving just enough behind to make the apartment look lived in. I even left Jake the spare key, as promised. A week later, Jake called, panicking. "The landlord says the rent's only paid through the end of the month. After that, we have to sign a new lease or get out." "That's how renting works, Jake," I said calmly. "But Mom and Dad said you were letting us stay for free." "I never said that. It's not my place anymore." I moved out. Silence. Then shouting, "You what? Where are you living?" "I bought my own condo. I've been saving for years." "So you just left us here with nowhere to go?" "You have the same options you always had," I said. "Get jobs, move back in with Mom and Dad, or find somewhere cheaper." He hung up. 10 minutes later, Mom called, screaming, "How could you do this to your brother? Give me your new address. We'll move in there instead." I took a deep breath. "No, Mom, you're not moving in. Jake is never living with me again." And then I blocked their numbers. 2 months of peace followed. 2 months of real glorious quiet. Eventually, my father reached out alone. We met for coffee. He apologized, said they'd gone too far, that they were proud of me for standing up for myself. He told me Jake and Megan had finally gotten jobs and were living in a small apartment across town. For the first time in years, I didn't feel guilty for saying no. I felt free.